I'm very, very excited about this one, and hopefully you will be too. Hello everyone, welcome to Big Friendly Grab. I hope you are well. Now, if you've watched the channel before, you know I'm partial to a gadget or two. I've done a couple of gadget testing videos in the past. If you've watched those, then you see that I have tested gadgets. I don't know where I'm going with that, but I'm going to roll with it. And I am hoping to do more gadget testing videos. In fact, this is going to be kind of a gadget testing video today, but not quite like the other ones. In the other ones, I have done gadget testings of lots of other smaller gadgets. Today, I'm going to be testing out one big gadget, and I'm really looking forward to this one. I'm very, very excited about this one, and hopefully you will be too, because I'm going to be testing this monstrosity. Oh yeah, look at that. That is the Quest rotisserie grill, and it is exactly what you think. It is a rotisserie grill that can be used for making things like kebabs, not just skewer kebabs like on the front, but doner kebabs as well. You could even rotisserie like a whole chicken, which you might be able to see on the back possibly, maybe. Yeah, like here, look, it shows you can do a whole chicken on it as well. So I'm very excited to try this out. I've wanted one for quite a while after seeing them on other channels. Got to put it down because it's heavy. I'm very excited to have one of these. I thought they'd be expensive, but this particular one was £65. Hopefully it's going to work really well. Who knows? That's kind of the purpose of this. I want to test it out, see how it works, if it's good value for £65. And there's going to be a few things that I can try out with it, but I'm not going to do them all in this video. Today I want to try it on one particular thing, and that's going to be the doner kebab. I've got to say, a doner kebab is a guilty pleasure for me. I used to have plenty of them after like a boozy night out, you know, going into a kebab shop after God knows how many beers, and then having a doner kebab and then regretting it the next day. But there is something about it, and it is actually a really nice meal when done really well. But the doner kebabs that you often get in these kebab shops can be not that great, and God knows what goes into them. So today I'm going to try and make a homemade kebab using this thing, and it's going to be delicious because you're going to know exactly what goes into it. It's not going to be like God knows what, like bums and eyeballs and things like that. It's going to just be 100% lamb and some lovely seasonings and spices. I'm also going to try and make a chili sauce as well to go with it. Hopefully this is going to go really, really well, because to be honest, I love a kebab, and who doesn't enjoy a badly packed kebab every now and again? So I'm really looking forward to this one, so let's get started with it. Right, I'm going to get this thing out of the box. To start off with, it's got these couple of lethal looking things here. I think that's going to be able to put your meat on if you're doing a kebab, so that's what I'm going to be needing shortly. They look really, really lethal. And also got some other skewers here. These are for your traditional kebabs that you do on a skewer, so you can do those as well. And here is the thing itself. It's pretty big actually. It's a lot bigger than I thought it would be. I'm going to put this on here. Right, I've switched to this view so we can have a closer look now it's out of the box. You're going to have to forgive my camera work because this is not made for handheld use really. But we've got here our timer to set up to about an hour's worth. We've got a drip tray here for catching with the fat. Here's the skewer that all the meat's going to go on to. We've got a coil at the back, which is obviously going to heat up and get everything cooking. We've got this door here, which I didn't realise it had, which you can bring round to stop everything from kind of spitting and just to protect everyone, which is actually really good. And then obviously you've got more contact with the coil at the back there. It's actually a lot bigger than I thought it would be. It looks really, really solid. Hopefully it's going to work really well. You also get these couple of plates here, which allows you to connect up your skewers and your meat and everything else. So I'm going to try and get this all set up and get it working. I'm very excited to use this. Hopefully it's going to work really well, and I won't need to send it back. So I've managed to get my two lethal looking spikes set up on this. That was actually a lot easier to set up than I thought it would be. You've just got these screws here that basically you just screw onto here. The skewer itself just slides in and out. I've got the other one up here, but it's really, really easy to set up, and that is actually a joy to use. So hopefully this is going to work really well. But we're not going to use this just yet because I need to get the lamb ready to make our doner kebab. So this is going to just have to wait for now. So for our doner kebab, we're going to need lamb, and lots of it. And I've got 2 kilos of lamb leg steaks here. So there's no questioning that this kebab is going to be 100% lamb and not anything else, unlike some of the ones you get in kebab shops. But these lamb leg steaks are quite thick at the moment. So I'm going to want to cut these in half through the middle to make thinner slices so they cook better and more evenly. So I'm going to do that right now. So I'm just going to carefully try and slice through the middle of these to make them a lot thinner. Got my nice sharp knife here, trying to be as careful as I possibly can. So those are a lot thinner, a lot more manageable. I could even try and do that again, but to be honest, I'm not confident enough in my knife skills to be able to do that. So that will have to do. You don't need to see me do this 20 times, so I'm going to spare you that by speeding everything up through the magic of magic.
What an idiot.
Right, that's all my lamb sliced in half as best as I possibly can. It's a nice pile of lamb. Unfortunately, I didn't succeed in not cutting myself, which is why I'm now wearing these very fetching gloves. But I'm not done with this because I need to get some lovely seasonings on this to give it some lovely flavour that we would associate with kebab meat. I've got this all back in the bowl, and to create my lovely marinade rub, whatever you want to call it, I'm going to throw on some olive oil, not too much. And then we want a lovely load of spices, so I'm going to use probably about a tablespoon's worth of paprika, not smoked paprika, just ordinary paprika. Again, probably about the same of cumin, because cumin just works so well with lamb. Some garlic powder, perhaps a couple of teaspoons worth. Got to add some cayenne pepper for a bit of a kick. A little bit of cinnamon, just for a little bit of sweet heat. Got to add in some onion granules and a bit of rosemary for a bit of herby goodness. Rosemary works really, really well with lamb. I'm just going to get in there with my hands and just rub that all into the lamb meat, which is where those gloves come in really, really handy. Oh, listen to that. That's either ASMR to some people or just absolutely revolting. It smells absolutely amazing though. Then I'm just going to leave this in the fridge to marinate for a good several hours.
6.5 hours later.
Right, I've been marinating my meat, so it's time to get this show on the road and get this doner cooking. So I'm going to have to get this all onto my kebab skewer. So I think what I just need to do is push this down onto here like so, stack it up like you would a big cylinder of the kebab meat. So I'm going to just keep doing this because this could take a while. I might not need all of this, but I'd rather have too much than not enough. Right, I think that's plenty of meat. The rest I can use another time. So I'm going to get this slotted onto the rotisserie grill and we can get this thing started. Look at that! That looks almost like a proper kebab already, but obviously we're going to need to get this thing cooked, so I think if I followed the instructions correctly, this needs to be closed first. Yes, that's correct, because there's a backlight on there and that's gone off, and then I need to set the timer. So I'm going to set this for a full hour because that's a lot of meat and needs to be cooked well. So, hey, there we go! It's off, it's away, it is turning, it is rotating, so it's going to need to take some time to heat up. That looks pretty cool actually. I'm kind of excited about that. In the meantime, I'm going to show you how to make a chili sauce. I don't know if this is going to be the authentic kebab sauce that you would get in a kebab shop, but I am going to give it my own spin, so let's give it a go. Quick update, that is red hot now, that is working. There's kind of that smell of when you turn on a radiator and it hasn't been used for a while. It's got that dusty smell at the moment because obviously this is new. So it's not a great smell at the moment, but once that meat starts to cook, it's going to smell amazing in here. Look at that. This is pretty cool. I'm really excited about this. Sorry, I'll get on with the sauce now. I was just pretty excited about that. Right, first things first, if you can hear a ticking, that's the rotisserie grill, not a bomb, don't worry. Now for my own personal kebab shop chili sauce, which is surprisingly hard to say, I'm going to cook myself up some onions into a pan with some olive oil, and I am going to let these cook and soften down probably for about a good 10 minutes or so. There's a real kebab shop smell coming from this thing now. In fact, I'm going to show you how this thing is looking because I just need to leave these now. Look at that, that is looking fantastic. That is looking amazing. That is browning, it's looking wonderful. Load of fat in the bottom there, but it's lamb, so what do you expect? There's just a wonderful kebab shop smell coming from it, and by that I mean fresh lamb and not the smell of stale alcohol, shattered dreams and desperation. It just smells amazing. Can't wait to try this. This is going to be so good. Right, my onions are starting to soften and become more translucent, so this looks like a good time to throw in some garlic. I've got 2 cloves here. Look at me being restrained with the garlic. Then this won't be a chili sauce without my chili, so I'm going to put in about 200 grams worth of Scotch bonnet chilies. I'm going with Scotch bonnets because I like a bit of kick. If you want it milder, you could just go with plain red chilies. If you want it hotter, you could use something else, like, I don't know, a California Reaper or a Trinidad Moruga Scorpion chili, if you feel like having your sauce that hot, but you want some flavour in here, you just don't want shearing heat. So that's why I'm going with Scotch bonnets, because they're a good middle ground. Did I just say shearing heat? That's sheep, I meant searing heat. I'm going to cook this for a couple of minutes. It's going to get a bit spicy now. If I start coughing, then I apologise. Yeah, I'm going to start sneezing instead. That's getting right up my nose. Right, I'm now going in with a full tin of chopped tomatoes, so that's about 400 grams worth. Then I'm adding in about 200 millilitres of water. I've just added in some water to the can. That allows me to get the excess of the chopped tomatoes out, and also I know that this is 400 grams, so I know half weight is 200 millilitres. Then I need a bit of sharpness in here, so I'm going to add about a couple of tablespoons worth of cider vinegar. You could use white wine vinegar instead. That adds some sharpness, but also the vinegar helps as a preservative, so if you were going to bottle this up, it would help it last. And for a bit of sweetness, I'm going to add in a couple of tablespoons worth of caster sugar as well. You could use something more natural like honey or something like that, but I'm just going to use sugar because I've got loads of it. Then I'm just going to pop on the lid and let this simmer away for a good 10 minutes. Just let all those flavours come together before I blitz it up into a sauce. Right, after about 10 minutes with the lid on, I'm now going to blitz this up using my hand blender. And there we go, that's blitzed up into a lovely sauce. It looks like an amazing colour. Right, I'm just going to give this a quick taste to see if it needs anything added into it. Any more sugar, any more salt. Oh, that tastes really good. It's got a big kick of heat to it, a lot of heat, but that tastes really nice. It's got a bit of sweetness to it. And you can taste the chilies and you can taste the tomatoes and you can taste everything in it. You want the heat, but you also want the flavour as well. And that tastes really nice. Oh yeah, that's really nice. I'm going to leave that off the heat now because that is done. So we just need to wait for our kebab, and that's not going to take very long because I can see that's almost done. Hey, we are done. That looks amazing. I should probably let that cool down for a moment before I try and get in there, but that's looking pretty good from here. So I'm going to open up the door. I can feel the heat coming from that. Generates a lot of heat. There we go, look at that. There's some really charred bits on there, but there's also some wonderful looking lamb there. I'm more than happy with that. That looks incredible. So I'm going to carve some of this off while it's still nice and hot and get this served up into a doner kebab. It smells amazing. Right, I'm going to try and get into this and carve some of this off. Oh yeah, it's coming off nicely. Look at that. Right, it's cooked off really well. Can I move this around? Let's see if I can rotate this by itself. There we go. It's a little bit risky to try and move it around. That's the one flaw I've got. It's not very easy to move it around. I'm having to use a cloth to move the drip tray around to try and move this. That's one criticism I have of it, but it's the only criticism I have so far. So there's a bit of pinkness in the middle there, but that's absolutely fine because you can have your lamb a bit pink. That's looking really good. That's probably enough for now. That is more than adequate. Right, I'm going to get my kebab constructed. I'm going with the pita bread because that's kind of like the kebab shop thing to do. Now, that's kind of what I'm emulating here, but I prefer a wrap, and I would use a wrap if I wasn't doing this video. I've got my pita bread here. I'm going to fill it through with this wonderful lamb meat. Look at that. That looks so good. It smells so good as well. I'll bring that in a bit closer. Look at that. That is beautiful. Obviously, it's not strips like you would get in a kebab shop because these are lamb steaks, not one big cylinder of meat. But you get the same effect and flavour. Probably better than actually. I'm going to drizzle over some of my kebab sauce. I'm not going to drown it, not like they do in the kebab shop sometimes. Then I'm just going to add some salad because it's kind of the done thing. I think I used to do this in kebab shops just because it made me slightly feel better about eating one of these things. Don't need to worry about that with this one. Then to finish off, just one of these chilies, because I used to love these things from kebab shops. I just loved pickled chilies. That looks so good. That smells so good. Can't wait to dig into this. In fact, I'm not going to wait. I'm going to crack into it right now. There we go. There is one homemade doner kebab made using the Quest rotisserie grill, not sponsored. That looks amazing. That worked really well. So well, in fact, much better than I anticipated, to be honest. For 65 quid, I didn't think it would be that good. It's cooked all the meat evenly, because you can see that. I think if you can lay up your meat as evenly as possible, then it will cook much more evenly. I had some thinner bits at the top, that's why they kind of charred a bit more, but that's fine. I will enjoy those as well. But this looks really good, it smells really good, and hopefully, well, I'm sure it's going to taste really good because it's lamb that's seasoned well, and it's got that chili sauce as well, which I've made. I've got tons of it now, so I'm going to be using that on everything. I'm going to give it a go now because my mouth is actually watering. I haven't had dinner yet. This is my dinner. I'm going to enjoy this. I'm going to give it a go right now. I'm not going to bother with the salad. Who am I kidding? Let's get in there and get into that meat. Get the chili sauce as well. Oh wow. I got some of that meat right from the middle. It's so tender. really tender, it's cooked really well. Oh, that is so good. I'm going to get a bit from the outside because that will have more of the seasoning on it and it will be cooked a bit more. See, that's a bit more charred, but that's probably going to taste incredible. Oh, yeah. Oh, it tastes amazing. Oh, that's so good. It's got that kind of, it has got that kind of doner meat flavour, but it's not as greasy, it's not as like horrible, it's not as heavy. It is so good, it's so tasty. Kind of stabbing motion now. That is really good. I'm really happy with that. I'm really happy with how that turned out. That's really easy to use as well. Hopefully it's going to be easy to clean. That is one good gadget for 65 quid. I can't go too wrong with that. Oh, best gadget yet. Is it a gadget? It's more of a kitchen appliance, I suppose, but it's kind of a novelty really. Not too many houses have one. So I guess it is kind of a gadget in a way. I am going to have to use that again in another video. Apparently you can do whole chickens on it, so I might have to do that. You can also do like kebabs, like skewered kebabs as well, so I might have to give those a go as well. But I might have to see what else we can do on it. If you have any suggestions about what I can do on that, let me know, because I really want to put that to the test a bit more. But just doing the doner kebab, really good, really, really good, can't fault it. I'm going to go off and eat this now. I hope you enjoyed the video, I hope you found it useful, I hope you found it entertaining. If you did, give it a thumbs up, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying what I'm doing, hit the notification bell to be informed when I'm putting up new videos, but otherwise, take care of yourselves and I will see you next time on Big Friendly Grub. Bye! So good. Now if you've watched the channel before, you know I am partial to a gadget or two. I've done a couple of Popeye.